So we are about to spin the wheel of introduction. The best way to get around deciding on who does the intros
Wait, I didn't
is
agree to be
winning.
recorded. What happened here?
It is
Are
whoa,
we
whoa,
not?
whoa. Well,
Oh, I didn't hit the
Levi,
button on Zoom.
you better be on your toes because
Well, here
you
we are.
are doing
Welcome
the
back
intro.
to another installment, episode of the All New Nerds podcast interview segment. And
Yes,
today
sir.
we are joined by the illustrious Elliot from the Basic Nerd Experience. And while usually as you may have grown accustomed to, we've had exclusively Star Wars creators, really, and we cover mostly Star Wars. But seeing as how this is both of our channels are centered around just general nerddom, even though it's Star Wars season, we're gonna open it up to broader questions this time. But don't worry, we'll still give you that end bit. We won't let you know what that is, Elliot. We'll keep you in suspense. So, or why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you're about. How are you?
Yeah, thanks guys for inviting me. My name's Elliot. I'm part of the Basic Nerd Experience. We've been out for about 2 years. Right now, we're trying to get back into it. At least one live stream or episode every week. Follow us on Instagram and on YouTube. We just put a new episode out about Universal Studios. I hosted with my buddy Andres. What we did recently was we talked about the theme parks, about what our favorite rides are. Like, is it great? Is it horrible? So yeah, check us out whenever you can, and we talk about all nerd stuff. Like Levi said, I am illustrious. No, I'm just kidding, but I am a I am. We talk about mostly Star Wars, but we are also down to talk about anything. Really, even in the word nerd really means doesn't have to be just nerd stuff. We're also down to talk about. I'm a musician, so I'm gonna have a live stream this Thursday about different musicians. I'm in Florida, so I'm gonna have different musicians from Florida talking about what it's like about the live scene, what it's like during COVID and stuff like that. So we're very just like nerd is a very broad term. So we're down to talk about anything. Like I'm down to talk about Jurassic Park. I'm down to talk about Star Wars, like whatever is interesting to talk about.
How
Sports
do you
even.
feel about Jurassic Park 3?
With number three
Yes,
or
the third.
it before Fallen Kingdom, it was my least favorite Jurassic Park, but Fallen Kingdom,
Yeah, I'm right.
oh no,
I'm right there with you. Fallen
yeah,
Kingdom is one of I
I
don't like that movie.
I actually have not seen the Jurassic World movies, but I have seen Jurassic Park 3 and it is bad.
yeah,
The poop and the phone. It's great.
which
No,
one wait, I'm trying to think. It's been a minute since I've
That's
seen
in
it.
the first one as well, but isn't there a poop bit in the third one too?
I think there was. I remember the one like where Jeff Goldblum in the front one just goes, "That's a big pile of shit."
That's
right
the first
there.
one, yeah. That's the first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Is there
I
not a
remember
poop
that
bit in
one.
the
Yeah, I
third
think
one?
the third there was something. I think in the third one or Lost World. I forgot which one it was. Again, it's been
I haven't seen Lost World in a long time, but in my memory, I enjoy Lost World because I think Jeff Goldblum is enjoyable.
yeah. It's an underrated sequel. It's not as good as the first. Well, it's great. It's great, but it's not, in my opinion. Number one is the best. I still need to read the book by Michael Crichton. But I heard that Lost World's I gotta watch it again, but it's a lot better than I thought it was.
People give it credit for it, yeah.
Yeah,
Third one though, I
exactly.
like the plane stuff. Well, like the shots of the plane. Like, well, maybe I could just completely misremembering because I watched it so long ago. But
You know what? It's actually kind of good. I before I watched all the films, I actually played the Lego game, and the Lego game
Oh,
is
really? That's cool.
really surprisingly great. It's
most Lego games are.
Yeah, Lego Games got a way of doing that.
the only one that I really don't like is Lego Indiana Jones 2. That one I don't like at all, and I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I don't like the second one at all. It's the
Interesting. Yeah.
second Lego Indiana Jones.
I think I played that on the DS in 2008.
Yeah, same. So,
Back in my day.
Back in the day.
So Elliot, I do want to know, when did you guys start a podcast or your channel in general, and what like made you guys want to get this going?
Well, hold on now. I can't. We can't be having smooth transition here. You talking about theme parks in your intro? Can we talk about how awful that? What is it like? The underwater submarine ride is it at Disneyland? It's like the worst thing ever.
Oh,
I've
the
never
Nemo
been,
ride?
The
so I
Nemo
wouldn't know.
ride, where you just
It's
sit.
not. It's not.
I hate
Yeah, I
it.
know what you mean.
I hate it. I'm sorry.
No, go for it. No. Why don't you like?
No,
Don't
I
you
mean,
like?
my hate is mostly joking, but I really don't like that ride. I just find it to be like the most boring So Dylan, basically, you wait in line. You get in a submarine that sits about 1 foot below the water, and you
Yeah.
just sit in it, and it goes in a circle, and then you get
Right.
out,
Dang.
Yeah.
and nothing really happens.
It's
You
kind of
just-
like because are you in California?
I'm on the West Coast, but I've been to Disneyland, not Disney World.
Okay. I've been to both. I'm since I'm in Florida. I go to Walt Disney. That's my Disney. But I've been to Disneyland at least 4 or 5 times. Our rendition of it is because I know that the submarine for Nemo was originally 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which we also had, but that was taken down for, I forgot what it's there now. I want to say it's a Tomorrowland Speedway. I'm sure. If you do know it out there, please comment below and please correct me. But I remember because when I was on the Nemo ride, it was exactly sort of the way we have it at Epcot, because at Epcot it's like you guys ever been the Little Mermaid ride in the California Adventure?
Yes.
Okay, you know how, so it's like that for the Nemo ride. You get like in this big shell, you go through the whole thing of Nemo, and it's just like that, except you're not underwater. So we have like a dry version when you guys have a truly wet version when you're literally underwater. I did find it really underwhelming because it was just, I get the concept is great, but it was,
Waiting in the line in the hot sun.
it's not worth it. It's
Is it
not
supposed
worth
to
it.
be like this crazy, like groundbreaking experience? Like, is that how they like advertise it?
No,
Or-
I don't know. I feel like I
Or you just
tricked
do you just randomly have
No.
this weird distaste for the Kitty Nemo ride?
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a Kitty Nemo ride. I just have a
Yeah,
strange
yeah.
distaste
Yeah,
for it,
it's-
yeah.
You're just like the tallest guy there, and you're just all
Oh yeah, I
grumpy
barely
sitting
fit
there.
in that thing, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
and all the kids are like, "Wow, wow." Yeah.
it's a stupid,
This is
stupid
boring.
ride. Stupid ride. Yeah.
I wanted a loop-de-loop.
Yeah, give me my submarine. I want my submarine to do a Arielion. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I mean, this probably exists, but I would really. I'm
Star
not a
Fox.
huge theme park guy. I don't go to a lot of theme parks, but I would
Well,
love
barrel
to
roll.
be like a theme park ride reviewer or like an enthusiast.
oh,
Or
there
like
is.
someone, yeah, and like get really into it and be like, well, this is good for this reason, but it really lacked this here. Like I like really get deep into it.
There's a couple I can recommend. There's a great channel I like called Theme Park History, and what they do is I don't know the person who runs it, but what he does is he I don't know if he has a team or it's just him, but what he does is he goes through the history of each ride, like Disney, Universal, mostly Universal. Like his logo is based off of the '90s Florida logo, but he talks about everything. Like my favorite is like his Spider-Man, the Spider-Man ride in Universal Alice Adventure is, my opinion, like top 3 rides of all time. Just everything about it I love. Definitely nostalgia plays a big part, but still is amazing. But he does a great job of breaking down the history of the ride, about what was the technology used, like what, hey, this is the same ride system as Transformers, and this is the company. Like he really gets into it. So I would recommend Theme Park History for you two guys, or anyone out there listening. Another one I like is Attraction Ideas. He's really good. I'm trying to get a podcast with him going actually, but he's really cool. He did a really cool video about how the Cat in the Hat ride is slowly falling apart, and he just said how it needs to be changed and updated, because I'm doing like I said, we did a Universal ride, and there's a
You guys remember
Islands
the
of
Cat in
Adventure.
the Hat movie? Total
Sorry?
non sequitur. Do you guys remember the Cat in the Hat movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
we
thing was
talked
messed
about it on
up.
the podcast. It's god
Yeah,
awful.
It's
that
horrific.
thing is horrifying.
It's
I remember watching that
horrifying.
in school and like being horrified.
Yeah,
Hor-
it-
horrific. Yeah.
awful. It is not good. It's excuse me. Yeah, I remember, like I forgot what the name of this channel is, but they got drunk and watched it, and it was hilarious watching them like react like Thing 1 and Thing 2, and then
Horrifying.
it's oh man, it's
So
that
funny.
film was atrocious, and that's the film that, when I don't know what Dr. Seuss's wife's name, but he died before he could
Seuss.
see that. Yeah, when because I guess she had control of it. She, after she saw Cat in the Hat, she told Universal, "You're not allowed to do that
Yeah.
Anymore.
You're not allowed to do
Thank
live
God
action."
you didn't see it.
And that's why they don't do. That's why they only do animated, because of
Yeah.
that, because of Cat in the Hat. It's so bad, and
That thing was
Yeah.
bad.
the only Dr. Seuss movie that I really enjoy is the one with Jim Carrey, The Grinch, because the others are kind of forgettable. I love
Right.
Doctor.
Well, the Grinch really makes it its own thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously it follows the same beats as the book, but I mean, like it really kind of branches out.
Yeah, there is some boring parts. Like I think Cindy Lou Who, I think there's too much on her. I really didn't like when she sang a song. I'm like, all right,
Dude,
next.
Cindy Lou Who's kind of a Mary Sue.
What?
Just joking.
Is Cindy Lou? Oh, that'd be a good video
Cindy,
essay.
Cindy Lou. Yeah, I'm doing a video essay about that.
Cindy Sue Lou, yeah,
Yeah.
or Sue or something. Yeah,
That's
Dude,
funny.
the
I was
Grinch's dog is a plot hole. Oh my god, it's
Max?
way too over it. Max breaks the universe of the Grinch.
well,
This
they
dog
also
would-
live on a fucking snowflake. So
This dog would die.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. That doesn't make
That's
a. That was weird. Like inside it, like Anthony Hopkins is talking like inside a snowflake, and I was like,
Was it really Anthony Hopkins?
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
he did. He
nice.
did all the narration of that.
You guys remember when Anthony Hopkins was in Transformers? Me neither.
Oh, the last night. I remember.
Yeah, this is going all over the place, but I don't care. The Last Night is I think I've said this before on the podcast, is the only movie that I've fallen asleep in a theater for. It's
Wow.
the only movie.
I
I
don't blame you.
I fell asleep in the theater. It was I was having such an awful time because of how boring the movie was. Like, and it's a loud, obnoxious, like explosion movie. You know, it's like a
Yeah.
Transformers movie. And I was just like, I'm just so bored. And I fell asleep. And there's this scene where Anthony Hopkins gets killed, and it's insane. It's all,
I fell
it's
asleep
all bad.
during Rango, which I regret.
Rango,
'cause that
really? Yeah,
movie's awesome.
Rango's a good movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Johnny Depp. Oh, that's a. I'm surprised.
I was also a kid, but
I was gonna say.
Yeah. To circle back, if I were a theme park person, like a reviewer or something, I'd be like,
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm gonna have to be in Galaxy's Edge all the time. We need to ride
yeah,
Resistance
exactly. I have to
about
review this ride again.
8 times a day just to really
Yeah.
be sure that I like it. Like really
like-
be sure.
Right, like today the cast member didn't say this, but you know what? It was better the third time.
Yeah, like what if there's a variant? Like I need to see.
Exactly.
like, oh, you know what? Kylo Ren didn't do a good job at appearing because he malfunctioned, but later, the side B, because Disney is really good. I know I said this, but like, I was getting to it, but Disney had they're really good at planning ahead for like, there's like a side A and side B. So like, if Kylo Ren breaks down, what happens is that they just keep the ride going because of how busy it is. They just close. They normally when he would like the animatronic comes out and he tries to like says, "Give me the coordinations to the I don't know to where your secret base is," and then he'll get blown away. What happens is that instead of that, what they do is they take you to the escape pod early, and his ship there'll be like a film of him on a ship trying to stop you. And then later you
That's cool.
go away. Same thing with
Huh.
like Fantasmic. Like Fantasmic, there's a scene. There's a time when if like when the I forgot her name, but she's like the evil witch from Snow White. I forgot her name. I'm sure there's a name. Again, if you know, comment down below.
Maleficent, the evil witch?
No, that's Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
I forgot her name, but
Not
it's just
Cruella, is it? No, that's something else.
No, that's
Cruella.
You guys are bad with this.
Cruella. That is like that is way off. That is like that's 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, whatever.
No, but this evil
Cruella
witch-
Deville rolling up in her big
Yeah, she was
her car. I'm coming for you, Cinderella.
That's
exactly.
right. With Glenn Close slash Emma, what's her name? Emma
Stone.
Stone. Yeah.
Gwen Stacy.
Or Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
That was,
Right
that
all
was
back, guys. Nerds.
oh man, I mean,
Cruella.
that's actually coming out soon.
It is like a
Ooh,
couple
yeah.
days.
I'm up in the air for it. Like I want to see it in theaters, but I'm not paying $30 on Disney Plus for it.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
I was
no,
seeing-
absolutely not.
0% chance.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emma.
But
I'm not watching that.
one thing about Fantasmic is that like how they have the side A for Kylo Ren. The cool thing for Fantasmic is I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a time when there's like the transformation of the beautiful I don't know, like when she's like the queen, and then later the transformation when she turns into the old witch. They do this thing where they have to wear I think there's a mask or something she has to wear, but in case of something, there's like a wardrobe malfunction or something that she doesn't get in time, they'll have the gray hair in the background just in case. So then they'll just continue the show like that. So Disney
They're good
is
like
Oh,
that.
that guy.
no, and they should like
Dude.
it happens. Like it's like
Dude.
theater.
Speaking of Snow White, do you guys remember that there was this period in like the early 2000 or early 2010s when they tried to make a bunch of like hardcore fairy tale movies, like, and there was it's like called Snow White and the
Right.
Huntsman series with I think it's Chris Hemsworth in it.
Like
Oh,
Kristen
right. Yeah.
Stewart and Charlize Theron. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's real weird. And I saw those movies in theaters.
They were weird. Well,
Fun fact.
so with Disney parks, don't they have entire like a university essentially for like working there?
Yeah.
Being one of the actors, being one of the people at the park. That's so interesting. That'd be a cool job though.
I have a couple of people I know that went there and they
Oh,
work there
really?
still and they love it. Yeah. No, they
Yeah,
have a good
people love working at Disney.
and there's this whole they really care about they really go above and beyond. No, it's a great I would love to I mean I wouldn't sell popcorn but I'm not saying that it's bad but I would rather
Ages.
say again.
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. Anyway, but to those people selling the popcorn, that's awesome. I appreciate it, but I'm not looking to do that if I were to work there. But I would
Right, yeah.
I actually know someone close who used to work at Small World and Peter Pan, and it's funny. It's interesting how you have to get trained. There's like the underground there's an underground at Magic Kingdom that you can walk. I don't know if it's all the parks, but I know it's for Magic Kingdom that the reason that like the character is supposed to go from one place to another so quickly is because of that. Like there's like the cast members have their own gift shop apparently, which I didn't know about.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind
You
of
work
like,
for us, pay us more money.
Yeah.
Pay us the
I don't know,
money
just-
we pay you.
Just
It's like
make me
they-
a stormtrooper or something, honestly.
it's
Just
like,
like
you,
Oh,
it's like
God.
they give you the paycheck and it's like no, I'm gonna go and buy
You'd be
like
so bad as a stormtrooper. You'd be roasting alive. It'd be
Yeah, oh,
horrific, I
definitely.
imagine. You would just
Oh
be
man,
like
in that
walking around
like
in an
98-degree heat, Florida summer.
and then they
Oof.
smoke a cigarette in the corner and they take their helmet off.
oven. How does the
Yeah.
do you know off the top of your head how does the like the voices work? Like is there someone else somewhere else running a like a soundboard or how do they control it? Is it on the gun?
Oh, I wonder. I don't know. That's a good one. I should look into that. But whenever I always thought that it was just they only. It's like if you have like a Buzz Lightyear toy, they only have like 8 voice commands. I thought it was like a stormtrooper. Like
No,
that.
it's
No, they
targeted though.
come up
Yeah,
with-
it's
Right, yeah.
They can have
Have you ever-
conversations.
You've seen the one where the girl is facing down Kylo Ren with the lightsaber, and then Kylo walks away, and the stormtrooper goes, "If there's one Jedi left, it's not you." And then they just walk, just roasted the hell out of her.
Yeah, like
So funny.
they're like, but they have targeted responses, and there's a ton of them, and they can choose. And I just don't know how the heck they choose. So if you happen to be a stormtrooper at Disneyland, and comment down
What's
below.
up? I want to talk to you. Yeah,
No,
I want to know what your day-to-day life is like.
I would
Yeah,
like to know
so
what's going on, especially you, Kylo. You got a lot to deal with.
he's
over
got a
there.
lot going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Dylan, you can ask the first question now.
Well, yes. So what I
Just
asked
thought
until we went into
interject.
let's see, theme parks, Cruella, and whatever else. How'd you start your podcast, pretty much, and like what made you like? Where was the tipping point that you're like, all right, let's turn this into a podcast?
So I'm a journalist major, specifically broadcast journalism, and I love talking to people. I'm really interested about. I feel I'm really invested in stories. I'm really into entertainment. Besides movies, I'm really into. There's always a story going on, whether it's bad, boring, or great. There's always a story going on, and I want to know more about that. But to me, finding journalism is finding that story personally. So whenever I would take the bus to go to school, I had to take like 2 city buses or public transports to go to the college I went to, the community college I went to. I would listen to Joe Rogan. I would listen to there's a great I'm a big music fan, so I listen to a great podcast called Vinyl Guide. I've actually interviewed Nate, who does the Vinyl Guide. He's an amazing dude. He's interviewed people like Henry Rollins. He's interviewed the last drummer from Black Sabbath, who was there on the last tour. Like he's interviewed some big names, and it's really great. And it's people that were like who owned Blue Note, which is like a jazz label, to like who'd you call it? To like Henry Rollins, who's like a punk legend. Like it's really different, and I liked it a lot, and I like the topics that they were talking about, and I'm like I want to do that, and I love I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, and I liked how he was talking about things from that he wanted to talk about, but also additional stuff. So me, it's nerd stuff, music, sports, whatever I want to do. Plus, adding a little story here and there like he does. Except without DMT and without Elon Musk smoking weed. But
Yeah.
No, that's what I wanted to do. And I started with I really just started with my friend Ken. But then
Joe Rogan edits are like my favorite thing. People who edit that podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a YouTube
Insane
poop.
Nicholas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not,
totally.
not even a poop, because oftentimes that's like involves dubbing and like bending it. Like this is often just like his own words.
Literally
Just
just a
like,
clip.
they just
Yeah.
make him sound crazy. It's so funny.
You ever seen
like
the
he
one where
says-
Joe Rogan has a conversation with himself?
Yeah, that's a good
Joe
one.
Rogan versus Yo Rogan or something, or
Yeah,
Ro
yeah, so,
Rogan.
yeah,
Bro
yeah.
Jogan, yeah.
Or and it's like literally, yeah, they debate each other. And it's
Right.
so funny. Yeah,
I find that-
I've seen it before. It's actually hilarious.
yeah. I mean,
My-
once you
my-
do that many episodes, like you just have so many.
my
takes.
personal favorite is like it's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, I think he talks about silverback gorillas, and he's talking about how like the kids like apes could rule the earth. It's so funny. Oh man, and he's just going on and on. Yeah. Joe Rogan this is the name of it. It has 1.1 million views. The title of it is Joe Rogan becomes an 800-pound gorilla with and he's just going like he's like they could rule the earth. He's like, can you imagine our little ape children running around? The kids would survive eating babies. Oh, it's crazy. It's like one of the it makes me crack up every time.
Joe Rogan is a crazy dude.
He's funny. He's hilarious.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Some
But,
funny stuff.
But yeah, with having Joe Rogan listen to Vital Guide, yeah, no, it was just like, all right, let me do it. Let me just start, because I'm someone that's like, after a while, like if I listen to something or watch something, I'm like, I actually want to do it. I don't want to be one of those, like, I don't want to be one of those people that say maybe one day. Like I want to do it. I'm a lazy person. I need to do it. So that's why I do it. So this is kind of, I like it because it's my way of publicly talking about my opinions and going from there. But also it's a good way to branch out to different channels and see how they're doing, like you guys. Oh, and I just had Sawyer on last week. I thought it was great that it was a great way to talk to people and say, hey, I'm really interested in hear what you have to say. Why is that? And not only that, but also talk about certain things. Like when we did that live stream about the sequel trilogy, Andres and I don't like, I don't hate it, but I'm not a fan of Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
Kick him out. Kick him out.
No.
No, I'm with
But-
you
but-
there, Elliot.
But then Sawyer loves them,
Mess.
loves those two movies, and I was like, all right, let me invite her on. We'll talk, and then we discussed it, and then we did a live stream, and it was great. I mean, it was a great way for us to, because she was very I'm for it, I was very mad on it, and then like Andres was like, I'm not a fan of it. But it was good because it was a good conversation, and we went from there. And we're definitely gonna have her on again for Rise of Skywalker. And but then so then like when you guys come on, like we'll talk about the Marvel thing, about the Marvel shows, and then, because I'm just curious, everyone has different opinions, and it's just it's a very it's I like talking about it, and this is a great way to talk about it more. So I know I gave a little TED talk about explaining why I created a podcast, but that's
That's
really,
the point. That's the point.
Yeah, it's what we want to hear. Yeah, I think it's cool how you're able to tie in your major, which is journalism, what you want to pursue, and just nerd stuff. I mean, basic nerd experience. So it's like, I'm going to talk to everyone about everything I'm nerdy about, or what they're
Yeah.
nerdy about, get their take, get their story as you've pushed. And I
exactly.
think that's really cool and really interesting.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, I'm very I'm glad that you guys I'm very honored that you guys asked me to come on here. It's really cool. I really appreciate it. And because I've been watching you guys for the past couple months when I first saw you guys. It was funny, like, because I remember on my Instagram, I was watching you guys. I was like, okay, let me. I don't know. One day, look at our followers. I saw you guys followed me. I was like, oh, hey, that's what's up. So
Yeah.
that was a cool thing. So it's that was awesome. But no, it's I do like yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing, because it's really cool. Yeah,
You too,
I know I
man.
talked.
We
I know I
appreciate
gave
that.
another TED talk, but yeah.
No, it's the whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interview that. However, I must admit, I've been a little bit distracted by the way Grogu is framed behind you, Dylan, has really got me cracking up. It looks like at the beginning of like a horror movie when like they uncover some evil relic or something that's like has a curse, and like the door is half closed, and it's your abandoned
Well,
attic.
This was a
What
bit
is
of a
this?
shaky start.
It looks like if Annabelle was a green lizard.
Yeah. It's Annabelle vibes, just like
Yeah. Oh, I gotta turn him every time I go to bed because it's a
Gonna-
bit creepy.
That's It is kind of creepy, even though Grogu is cute. I mean, well, he is cute, but he does kill like baby frogs. So
Exactly, yeah.
So there's that.
frog. You probably
I mean, he
can't see
kills
it, but he's
people,
got a little
too.
Frog there.
I mean, he's killed people.
Who did he kill again?
Did he kill the stormtroopers?
Yes.
You sure?
No, the flame man, dude.
Oh,
The flame trooper got
okay.
blasted. That dude
Yeah,
got
that's true.
roasted hard.
Well, that made sense. He was there for self-defense.
And those other guys, I mean, they got smashed for sure.
Yeah, he's like,
I mean, he is 50, so he's okay.
yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
all
he's-
right. He's lost his
yeah.
innocence a long time ago, I think.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I was killing people when I was 10.
Yeah.
I'm 50 now.
Well, he potentially saw like the entire Jedi Order getting slaughtered. So
And he was only like what 9 when he saw that. Not even.
Yeah, I think he was in his mid-20s. Yeah, he was in
Mid-20s,
his 20s. He was
yeah,
hanging out. Maybe early 20s, late teens. He was just
I know there's a theory of who took Grogu out of the Jedi Temple. I know some say like Anakin did, and it's like
Well, that would be weird.
would be.
Yeah.
Anakin.
how does he kill children and go, oh, you know what, you're the exception?
yeah. You know what?
Like,
You're
how
cool.
is that?
Yeah,
Like,
that
how does
makes
that?
sense.
That's. I mean, if it happens, I'm curious, but I don't know. I would like it to be. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious because maybe he went on his own and just figured it out. on
I
his
am
own.
really interested to find out
We know
what
that
happened with
someone
Grogu.
took him.
But yeah.
Oh, we know
Yeah.
some. Oh, that's right. There
Yeah,
was
Unless
Ahsoka says that somebody takes him away. And
Right,
it's-
yeah.
From my immediate recollection, I believe like there's an individual who does something, but we just don't know who the individual is.
right.
And it's been rumored, it's been like alluded to that it's Mace Windu, and I'm not for that. I don't want
No, he's dead.
I
Or
don't
not
want
dead,
I don't
but
want Mace to
We
come
don't
back.
know, but
Yeah.
he got his hand cut off and he got electrocuted. Like I don't think he's gonna go. Oh, let me go save this baby. Like no, he's gonna figure out what happened to him in the first part.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. People they go so hard on bringing Mace back. I mean, Sam
Yeah.
Jackson every year # Mace lives on May 4th.
Yeah.
He did
Right.
it this year too, and people are like, bring him back.
I
Bring him
mean,
back, and I'm like,
it was an
no.
off-screen death.
I
So,
know. It's like the worst
Like,
part
what
about
the
it
hell?
is Mace Windu is like the most plausible person to come back to
Yeah.
life.
Well,
But
I
just
think
don't
he
want
actually
it.
transferred his Force essence.
Yeah, yeah, his essence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
essence strength. Yeah, essence strength.
it would be curious. I'm curious to see how he would come back, and when would he come back? Would he come back during the original trilogy? Would he come back in the sequel trilogy?
If
When-
he is
when-
alive, I don't want him alive during the original trilogy.
No,
I'd say
even-
I'd
I
want him
wanna-
to die before, like way before, just because I hate the idea of all these Jedi running around during Luke's time, and it's like Ezra and Ahsoka are fine.
When I
they're
am
fine.
gone, the last of the Jedi, and also like 8 other people.
But maybe, yeah,
Right.
maybe a couple
Yeah.
others, but
maybe a few more. It's like, okay, Yoda.
Then there's like also like I know I don't want to bring like legends in, but I know that like Force Unleashed like had like all the Jedi were really killed. Like we're the only 2 left. But then there's like Gazan Paratus, there was Shakti, there was like Ram Koda,
Coda, yeah.
like all these Jedi, and I was like, oh, well, okay. It's like
right.
it's
I
pretty
really
cool.
people talk about Star Wars video games all the time. We had someone in our live chat asking us to rank them last time, and I really don't like the Force Unleashed for its like for the plot. I really don't like those.
Really?
plots. The games are so fun, such fun games, but like I think it takes away from like everything that the rebellion all like there's no world building to the rebellion in Legends if that is taken as like the canon of Legends. It
so you're
feels
not a
so
fan-
cheap.
You're not a fan of how the Rebel Alliance was built?
No, where it's just like it's a trick, and Galen Merrick is like, oh yeah, let's put them all together, and then it's his crest, his family's crest is the Rebel Alliance logo, and it's just like, all right, like, and everything comes, and then Bail Organa, they go to the Death Star. I'm like, what? It's so
Well,
hokey.
Well, because Vader told
I know, as like a trick, like pull all our enemies together
Yeah.
and then we'll blow them up. But that defeats like the past 19 years of people. For me, anyway, it just defeats the whole build of the Rebel Alliance over the
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay,
like
'cause I know-
Rebel. There's no
but okay.
like then there'd be no rebels in a canon example. Like something like Rebels is a show of 4 seasons where you just follow one cell in the Rebel Alliance for 4 years building this thing up, and like or like Saw Gerrera, who's a partisan immediately, like people like that, and like this fight, or like Enfys Nest in Solo, like people who are like no, man, we got to fight the Empire. Like in the Legends continuity, it's just like no one had this thought until Star Killer was like,
Right.
"Hey, come together," and they're
Right.
like, "It's like, nah, come on." I just think
I
it's
mean,
hokey.
There was, but it was kind of. I never read any of the legends. I never read the stuff. I just did the video games and the shows and like in the movies. But I think the Force Unleashed was trying to have like, because I know Ram Koda had his own military because he had it since the Clone Wars because he didn't trust the stormtroopers, and that's how he didn't get killed during Order 66. And then I know Kazan Paradas created his own droid army. He just used the parts on Raxus Prime, and then Shakti had Felucia, and he had an army.
And Rancor and stuff. Yeah.
The rank right, and then the Sarlacc pit that was there on Felucia, which was I played the Wii version, the PS2 Wii version. That one is a lot, in my opinion, is a lot more freaky than the Xbox 360 and the
Yeah,
PS3.
I mean, there's weird differences between the different ports. But yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, it's just technical limitations, right? Or is it like story
no, like
differences?
there's sometimes there's like story things that change and like
Interesting.
Right.
certain enemy types are different, and it's like I don't know why is that different.
I
Right.
don't know. And it's also interesting, like the Wii version also has like Star Killer, like he has his like his I forget the forms, but like he's like running away, like he's running like this with his lightsaber in his hand. But in the Xbox 360 is the infamous like his lightsaber's behind his back, like Ahsoka. So it's just interesting how there's a difference between it. I mean, I know he does it a little bit in the Wii, but when he runs, it's obviously in the Xbox, it's like his signature thing when it's behind his
Right.
back. But back to about the Rebels, like I think the whole point what they're trying to do in the game was to with Senator Bail Organa, I think Mon Mothma was in it, and
Yeah,
Ron
Mon
Koda
Mothma.
and Princess Leia. I think the whole point was like because they have money, they have influence. It was kind of the first time that they had an organized thing. Because also there was
I know, but the first time they organized was sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
it gets under my nerves because like in Revenge of the Sith, like there are deleted scenes where you see
But
the early formation of the rebellion and the delegation of 200, and it's literally those people in a room talking like, and we see it in the Clone Wars, like Mon Mothma and Bail Organa were champions of democracy from like the very start, and they knew each other. And then in the timeline of the timeline of Force Unleashed, it's like a day before A New Hope. They all get together and are like, "Hey, maybe we should rebel." And it's like,
Yeah.
well, what? Is this the way this happened? And so it takes place a little bit before, but it's like it's too close for me. It's like a year before or something like that. I mean, I'll fact check myself because
I don't remember. I because I know that the second one takes place like I think a couple years or something, but I don't know. It's weird. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter because it's no longer canon, which kind of
Legends, right.
but
I think it made. It says one BBY.
oh, okay,
So-
so it's 1 year before.
It's like
So it's
one-
literally
it's
just
just
like,
so you was
Yeah,
you were
it's
correct. It is 1 year.
They're
Okay.
like, man, we should really rebel.
yeah.
like-
You can't convince me that they were ready to blow up a Death Star 1 year
Well,
before the
that's
battle.
the other thing that in the canon of the game, Darth Vader takes Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and it's like the Shilpit, I can't remember his name, to the Death Star to be executed by Emperor Palpatine on the first Death Star, and Palpatine's there, and it's like, what is happening? Like then they escape, and then
Sam
Wild.
Witwer does a killer Palpatine though.
he does though. Oh no, and I don't want to degrade the quality of the. I think the games are super fun, and they're just so over the top. It's
Right.
it ties like everything from Star Wars like into it suffers from a syndrome where like it makes it way too important to the main plot instead of just making it its own thing.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, when you're having a Darth Vader has an apprentice, it's kind of bound to be big, you know.
Yeah,
The
and
whole
his
clone thing it's just like, oh man, it's
Who's it?
the clone thing in the second one where he's got like 1,000 Star Killer clones, and it's like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've gone on a Force Unleashed rant.
No,
Yeah, it's all right. This is a whatever podcast. This is
Yeah,
what I
it's
just talked
whatever.
about.
Whatever.
Yeah, one of those.
How did that come up? You were talking about Sawyer, Star Wars.
I forgot how it came up.
I don't know. Keep
I
going.
really
I have no
forgot.
idea.
But we'll probably in the future when we're watching this, we'll go. Oh, that's
I'll go,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm due for a replay of some of these old Star Wars games. I mean, I have very distant memories of playing like both Force Unleashes. Obviously, like I played them, but I just do not remember anything.
The first one is a lot better than the second one.
Yeah.
I know it sounds cliche, but it is. It's just the second one's too short. It's some of the gameplay is kind of chompy. I know they were rushing to make it because obviously it was like
I'm like a crazy person. I enjoy all the second games that people don't like more than the first. Like KOTOR 2, I like more. And
Huh.
I like Force Unleashed 2 more. I don't get it. I don't like I have
Huh.
such a bizarre
And then you will die.
and then you would die.
And then you will die.
You would die.
Dude, the best part, in my opinion, was the Ultimate Sith Edition, where you get to play the 2 bonus levels when you're like the Sith
Oh.
stalker. Oh man,
I know, and there's like stuff where you're on Hoth and you fight Luke. It's crazy. I'm like, is this meant to be in the context of a canon? It's insane. I'm like, how did you
Right.
Legends goes crazy.
Legends
go-
does go crazy. Doesn't Chewbacca die from like crashing into a moon or something? Or a moon?
Yeah, well, the
crashing
moon
into-
crashes into him. Please, during the Yuzong Vong invasion. Come on,
Right.
that at least that was real. You know, that
Right,
was like
yeah,
part
yeah.
of a context of a story. Like this is just Star Killer's just in the original trilogy.
right?
It's like, oh wait a second,
Right.
I don't remember him here.
Yeah,
And-
there's a lot of Legends is funny because a lot of people are like a lot of George Lucas stands that are like, you know, like keep it how it was, like keep Legends. It's like one, George didn't really care about Legends at all. And also Legends is insane. Legends does what people don't like about The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker and times a million. You know what I mean? So it's like Legends Legends is crazy.
Wow,
I love Legends.
Yeah.
I've read almost every single Legends comic, and it's a good time. But
Wow.
yes, it is. It's just specifically the Force Unleashed. I don't know why it gets on my nerves. It's just the Force Unleashed. I think maybe I'll illuminate a little bit. I think it's because there was at one point in time, like the era of Star Wars that defined me the most is after Revenge of the Sith and before the Lucasfilm purchase, when we didn't know what was coming, like if Star Wars would continue, and there was the Clone Wars, but I was like on YouTube or something in 2008, and I think I saw the cutscenes for the Force Unleashed, and I thought it was like an animated Star Wars movie that had come out because I didn't understand. I didn't get the concept that it was a video game. Even I should have. I was old enough. I was dumb.
Mhm.
I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, there's like, what is this? And so I treated it like I was like, oh my god, this is the next Star Wars episode. And then over time I was like, what is this? I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like when I was much older, I played the game. I was like, oh, this is a fun game. Oh, the
Hmm.
story. But it was just sort of this era of despair, maybe for me in Star Wars, where I was like, what is coming? There's nothing coming, and I was like, this is what
It's all this. It's just
all,
this.
it's just this, and I was
It
just
messes
sad.
with everything I know.
Yeah, it was just sad. I was like,
Yeah.
no. I was like Vader at the end of episode 3. As an
Am I the only one that I actually kind of like that? Like I thought it was okay. I never had a problem with that.
Well, when he screams no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
oh yeah, no, I think it's okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's fine. Like
It's
everyone-
over the top and a bit ridiculous, but I think it's all right.
I would
It's
if I found out like I accidentally killed my wife, I would, and like children are dead, I would yell out no. Like
The
you know,
no that's in the end of Return of the Jedi Special Edition is a little funkier
the no.
because that used to be just silent.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know if you know
He
that.
was
Yeah, and he just like looks, and it's a quiet moment where he
Yeah.
looks, picks him up, and throws him.
Well, so people are like, oh, that doesn't sound like that's not what Darth Vader would do. It's like he literally just became Darth Vader in that moment. Like, of course he's gonna act more like Anakin. I don't even know if Anakin would do that.
But
But it's
what
like,
what is happening?
Uh-oh.
What is transpiring, viewers?
I don't know.
Nerd-
Johnny's up in it all of
nerd
a
is-
sudden.
Some
We're
sort
getting a
of-
transmission.
getting a.
Incoming transmission.
While we wait for that, do you guys want? Is there another question you guys want?
We
to
have
ask?
so many questions. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
what is your favorite nerd franchise? What do you think? What do you think? takes the
Star
cake?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. And number 2 is Harry Potter for sure.
Ooh, interesting.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fan of the wizardry.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
I guess yeah, you're down there in Florida. You
I
can go
can't
to-
do a British accent, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, Star Wars, Harry Potter.
Who would win? Luke or Harry? Who you got?
Like personality wise, or like
No, like fighting.
yeah.
Like they're going up against each
Do
other.
you think a lightsaber can block a
Luke.
Well, if a
he-
lightsaber can't, then the force.
He has
can.
the Force.
I don't know, man. If like Harry Potter walked up and like popped the Avada Kedavra in his ass, I feel like if you couldn't block it, he'd just die.
You don't think Luke could?
I
Well,
think it's
yeah, but it would just sit. It would like hit the.
Well, that's what I'm
lightsaber.
asking. Well, that's what I'm asking. Can a lightsaber block it? Can he manipulate the magic with the
I think
force?
he can.
I
If he
think
can force project himself in like another planet and fight like that,
Yeah, but like
I think he can withstand the.
I just don't think it can get through the lightsaber. Like, I just don't think that's a thing that can
well,
happen.
I'm trying to think because right, it's two different universes clashing.
There's a
I'm trying to
science,
think-
yeah.
Exactly,
There's a
right.
science.
and I'm trying to think within the Star Wars, the closest thing to like Harry Potter magic would be like the way the Night Sisters use the Force. And I'm trying to think
Right.
if we see Force using characters are able to manipulate that kind of magic. And I
Yeah.
don't know, like I feel like Harry, the boy who lived. Voldemort kind of sounds like Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
To take it back to like an actual conversation, I've read all the books, love the books. I have tried to watch those movies so many times. I've watched them all, at least all three, at least 3 times, and I just can't get into it. I don't know. It doesn't. Johnny just left.
He just
it-
gave up. He heard what you said about Harry Potter. He's like, "No, I'm done. I'm
He's like,
out."
you know what, man?
I can't. For whatever reason, it doesn't capture me. I think because every time I try to do it, I like binge them. And whenever you're binging something, Star Wars included, like when you're on the seventh or eighth movie, you're just like exhausted.
Sometimes you're
like-
popping out your phone, you catch yourself on Instagram or something. You're like, I gotta go back and just catch what I just missed.
Right.
Like, that's me, anyways. I do that sometimes.
I'm just like I'm just that far in of like a 2-day marathon of Harry Potter. And I'm just like, do I care? Especially, I think that Deathly Hollows Part 1 is so boring. I don't know. Like I need
Yeah.
to rewatch them.
No, I agree. In my opinion, it's my least favorite. I mean, none of them are awful. No, there's no.
No, they're all.
No,
great.
I don't think.
Like,
I
I think all of them are
And
great. But
I think
like,
the real charm is you kind of watch the characters grow up in the movies,
right
especially.
and what happens at the movie. Yeah, no,
Right.
like no, but part one is like to me, it's it's not my favorite. But no, I know what you mean. It's just I get why it makes sense in the story wise. It does, like especially the scene where Harry sees the dough, which alludes to Severus Snape, like saying that, hey, here's which will lead to the Godric Gryffindor.
think Goblet of Fire is the best one.
Goblet of Fire. There we go.
What
Hello.
the heck?
Hey, there he is.
This burnt crisp of a man.
All right, guys. I don't know what's going on there. I'm in. Hey,
What's up?
Elliot. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, Johnny.
coming on the show.
What are you
So I
doing?
was just jumping in. I wanted to be here for like the last. I don't know how far. I don't know how
I
long.
mean,
you
we're
guys
kind of
been
just like
going
in the
on
middle of
for,
it.
but-
We're sort of in the heart of the, in the heart of the interview here. Do you have any burning question for Elliot? What do you
For
think
Elliot.
about What do you think about Force Unleashed, Johnny?
I never played it as a kid, but
Love the
Star
delay.
Killer's pretty cool. I don't have much to say about him though. I didn't play those games.
What we're
Well, why
discussing.
don't- yeah,
Harry Potter versus Luke Skywalker, like the characters.
And
Who's
I was
winning
talking
that
about
fight?
how I don't really like the movies.
Well, we never resolved this, so
That's a good question.
I like Harry.
Elliot, what do you think? Did
I
you already
say-
answer this?
I said Luke.
Hmm.
I just think
Yeah.
I just think magic versus the force, it's different. I mean, the magic is kind of different, but the force is kind of gets
I
everything.
think the magic cuts through, dude.
dude,
Yeah.
I think Luke wins it, man. I just think he can just
Yeah, I think
zap
Luke's
those
got a good
bolts,
dub
little
there.
magic
Luke's
bolts
got a
away.
dub there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think he'd be deflecting those Avada Kedavra bolts.
Are you in a hotel room right now?
No, I'm at an Airbnb in New Mexico right now.
Dying. You look burnt.
I
Very
am.
burnt.
Little
Burnt
burn
man.
there.
For audio listeners or people who put it on in the background, check out the video for Burnt Johnson.
Just for
This is
Chris.
No, you'll see when I get.
You're like
back
Anakin
home.
on Mustafar.
Elliot, if you don't know, I'm on a road trip right now, so I'm sorry for just jumping in like this.
no, it's okay. Is New Mexico your final stop, or you're gonna keep going?
Of course, every time I jump in, the show off always goes off the rails. Yeah.
Has
It's the
anyone watched
nerd
Army of the
impression,
Dead
man.
yet? Army
No,
of
I
the
have
Dead
not. I have not seen it.
on Friday.
Is
I
it supposed-
enjoyed it.
Is it supposed to be its own thing, or is it like a sequel to something?
It is its own thing. It's a new
Okay.
thing.
It's Zack Snyder, right? Yeah.
It is fully Zach. This is raw Zach.
Right.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut's actually.
It is the
Let's
Snyder
let's.
Cut.
I'm gonna talk about Zack Snyder real quick.
Uh-oh.
Snyder Cut is
Take us on a
good.
journey.
I
The
haven't
Snyder
finished,
Cut. The Snyder Cut is good, but
I
it
haven't
is
finished
not.
Snyder Cut. I just want to put that out
Okay,
there.
You haven't
I
finished
won't
it?
spoil anything.
Okay.
Snyder
Andrew.
Cut is good, but it is not this like amazing masterpiece that people are saying it is. It
Yeah.
when you're in school, all right, you take a test, you fail. You're not allowed to go back and you're not allowed to go get an A after you failed it, all right? You
Yeah,
failed.
but it's
you-
like someone
you-
else took the test for you. You know, it's like
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a little
that's
different
fair.
than that.
someone,
Dylan.
it's like
Well,
someone
I mean,
took
yeah.
a test. They took a test and then wrote your name at the top.
Right.
Well, technically,
That's
it would
fair.
be you started the test and you're doing great, but then you had to stop because you had to go to the bathroom, and then someone did the answers for you. Then you failed, and then you asked for a retake.
Right.
Then you end up doing a lot better.
Exactly.
But then okay, but even I'll help.
Yes.
I'll help against my point. The teacher
Dylan
put
is
someone
wrong.
in your place
Dylan is wrong.
because it was like HBO or it was HBO Warner Brothers, whatever. All right,
Yeah.
that's fair. Still,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like-
It's
I don't think
way
it's like
better than the
this-
first one.
it's way better.
Yeah.
I just like I still didn't like I was
It
still
also is
super
4
bored
hours
at
long,
sometimes,
so-
and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
4
4 hours
hours.
long too. Yeah.
I think his
It's
extended.
tough. I
here's
look at it
my-
as more of a miniseries than a movie. So
Here's my
Yeah,
hot take,
that's a
though.
good way of putting
The
it. It should-
Watchmen
it
Snyder
should-
cut is better than
yeah.
the than the
Like, I
Justice
know-
League Snyder.
I know on Netflix they did this thing where like Chris Stuckman mentioned it, like with what's that movie? Quentin Tarantino. It's not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
The
one-
Hateful Eight.
It was
Yeah,
a
that-
Hateful Eight.
and it's like
Yeah.
a mini series, but it's like a movie because
Mhm.
there's extended stuff. So it would have been
Yeah.
cool if it was something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
yeah.
don't get me wrong. I did like it. I did enjoy it.
Well,
and
that's
it's
what they
a-
were going
it's
to do. They were going to do a miniseries type thing, but because of
Right.
contractual obligations, they couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That they couldn't, but I mean, it is. You can take breaks because they obviously separate the chapters. But yes.
Well, it's just because
It
all the actors signed on
Right.
for movie deals, and so if you made
Yeah.
a TV,
Yes. Yes.
it's
It is a shame that it won't be continued. That the
True
Snyder
that.
cut, like I feel like
Maybe-
at this point, I don't know.
Now
I
that-
feel like they're stupid.
Hey,
for
now
not
that
doing it, but also
Warner is
they have
being now that
plans,
it's
so-
being sold off by AT&T to Discovery, or they're doing that weird merger and it's going to be a new company,
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
could happen.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a change of heart there. But as
Change
of
of
right
heart.
now, it doesn't seem like we're getting any more Snyder
And once
universe.
there's this Snyder, anyway, is anyone here like a Snyder head, big Snyder fan? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Not
well,
yet.
I could
I've seen
no,
you seen
but I
Sucker Punch?
respect him as a director.
What do you think of Sucker Punch?
I haven't seen it in such a long time, but from memory, I think I liked it.
It's a cool movie. It's deeper
Hmm.
than you think.
And Watchmen, well, I like Watchmen a lot actually.
And Oscar Isaac.
Same here.
Hmm.
I have my Watchmen graphic novel.
Riveting.
Yeah, I have not read the graphic novel, but that is something I
Yeah,
been
I have.
meaning to do.
There's a big deal. There's not many differences. There's one big difference, but like
It's that
other than that, yeah. I
So-
don't want to spoil a 40-year-old.
Oh yeah, that's true. Don't
Is-
spoil it. Yeah, it's
Is the Watchmen show well received by Watchmen
Yes.
fans? It's like
I-
people
Oh,
really
yeah,
like it.
no, dude, it won like it won.
Well, no. His
Emmys,
question.
right?
His
Yeah.
question wasn't was it well received. Was it well received by Watchmen fans?
Yeah. I mean, there's a
Oh, I
difference.
see.
Yeah, it
I
was.
see. I see.
Yeah, it was. As a
I think
Watchmen
so.
fan, it
I think
was.
so. I
was
think it
good.
seemed pretty faithful.
It's because
Yeah.
it's a sequel to the graphic novel, not the movie.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
way.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's things in the graphic.
It's a little
There's things in the
different
graphic.
story.
Right. There's things in the graphic novel
Yeah,
that,
different story beats.
that never happened. Like I mean, do I spoil the graphic novel? I mean, it's not
Yeah, I
really.
mean, yeah, I don't get
Wait,
this.
spoil it,
Squid.
or-
There's no
Yeah.
squid
It's how yeah. How old is the book? Like
Yeah. No, don't worry about spoilers. You're fine.
yeah, don't worry about it.
There's
I
no,
will-
it's
there's,
the-
there's no
so you know how in the
squid
graph,
in
you know in the
movie.
graphic novel, or sorry, in the movie, you know how they made that twist that Dr. Manhattan was the problem at the end.
Right.
That Ozymandias changed it. In the novel, what they did is they had Ozymandias had the idea to have this giant squid, so that way it was
It's
like
like
this,
it's like kaiju type thing. Yeah.
right. So that way it was like the Russians
Aliens.
and the
Mm.
Americans can come together to fight this one necessary evil, and that's what he had world peace. But and then
Yeah.
the Watchmen, it makes sense because they had like raining squids. I mean, I don't want to spoil it because there's a reason why it
Yeah,
happens.
don't spoil this show, but
No,
the biggest
but
biggest
there is-
difference is the use of the squid.
Right. No, and
Right.
there's actually a cool shot of like when the squid like
Shows up. Yeah.
killed the because it happened in the graphic novel, like killed the series. It did set up like future characters. But it's a great
So-
show. The acting is great, the writing is great, it's a 10 out of
Yeah.
10.
For people that have only seen the movie and then expected the show to follow the movie, were they like, what the hell is going on here? Or was it like,
No, I mean, because
Some of it was like that.
the movie was always just an adaptation of it's like so faithful except for the ending. And
oh,
so
okay.
and so that's basically the only difference. So you can watch it and still like know some of the characters and get a vibe for the universe
Yeah,
pretty
but
well.
they explain what happened in the comic, like in the show.
And yeah, and even then
The end
within the context of the show, they still explain it.
It
Right.
does
Interesting, yeah.
it does because in the graphic novel, or it depends on the cut you watch. Because I know that Snyder cut, there's like with the Justice League, there's like
Yeah,
three
the-
cuts. There's the
I've seen the longest cut. The longest cut is the best one. There's one that's
the
like 3.5
pirate, the one with
hours.
the pirate on the
Yeah.
logo. Yeah, I've seen that one too.
Mhm.
Because there's that, there's other stuff. But even then there's still more to give, but it's also it's a movie. There's because also in the book, sorry, in the graphic novel, they have the Under the Hood, which is the book entries of the first Night Owl. They kind of used that in the sequel, which was really cool. And they talk more about because in the sequel they talked more about what's his name, Hooded Justice, because he plays an integral role in the sequel trilogy. The sequel.
Yeah, Hooded Justice is my favorite Jedi.
Yeah.
That episode in the show, like that episode is so good.
I know, man. I
I've seen
can't believe
clips
that
from it,
Alan
so
Moore and
I
Alan
do
Moore and
know what you're
Dave
talking about.
Filoni.
Yeah,
Shout out
Oh
Dave.
yeah, wait, did you guys talk about Dave Filoni?
Not yet. No.
let's jump in.
No?
You know what? Just to shift gears. Let's Fast and Furious
Sorry.
this gear shift,
Yeah.
nitro into the engine.
Dave
Fast
Filoni.
9, go
So-
see it. Sponsored. We're sponsored by Fast 9. Vin Diesel. Go
It-
back.
it's-
No, we're
I
not
don't-
sponsored by anybody. No,
It's-
hold on. We're not sponsored by anybody.
No,
Alright.
we're not. Don't go
Why are you
watch
gonna
that
deny
movie
the Vin
unless
Diesel?
we're getting paid.
Why are you gonna deny the fat? Okay.
If they
Justice for Han.
want to, which I doubt they
Anyway,
would.
so
Go for
Dave
it.
Filoni got promoted last year. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got promoted last year, and so they
Yeah.
just updated on their
The
website recently, and so people like, rightfully so, they went pretty crazy because it's good to see him get a
Which is
promotion.
weird.
and so on their Twitter space and all their social medias, they're like, yes, he did get a promotion. Check this out. So
That's not true.
I don't know.
Hold on
In
now.
my opinion, I kind of hate how people like. One, there's the people that are like
Hold on.
anti-Kathleen
But
Kennedy
I want
pushing
to.
it.
Hold on. I want to clarify
Go on.
something. Though. They never said anything officially. They never did anything official on their accounts.
I thought they did.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't believe so. No,
I thought
all
I
they
saw
did
it.
was they clarified to like IGN and Variety that he has had this position
Yeah.
Oh, right.
for a
okay.
year, but they didn't say because it wasn't meant to be a big deal. They just like updated the website.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
I've just seen so many posts of like Filoni is God now, and just kind of funny. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean it's
I mean, he-
exciting. I it's kind of weird they didn't say. I mean, like I guess it's not the biggest deal, but like I find it interesting that they told us a year later.
Because it's just not
You know?
that's the important key is they didn't need to because it's an internal promotion that doesn't actually change the reality of
Right, but it's a pretty
Anything.
exciting title. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like,
well
glad
exactly
that I
it's
know
literally
now,
it's just
yeah.
that it's a title. It doesn't mean like
oh, yeah, okay, all right, I'm agreeing with you.
because Doug Chang and John
Um,
Knoll have the same exact title, but all those three people do very different things.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
Filoni is just going to be doing what he was doing. And I think he got the internal promotion when like the new slate of shows got announced or like when they started pitching that over the last summer. 'Cause this happened about a
Yeah.
year ago. And I imagine that's when
Mhm.
talks
Right.
for like pitching Ahsoka and Rangers and all these shows. And they were like, okay, well, let's just put you in charge let's just give you this title so you can be in charge of all these shows.
Right. But
Yeah.
I don't want to downplay it too much because it is a good sign if you're a real Dave Filoni fan. Like,
Yeah.
Trajectory. I don't know. It's just like, does this
Yeah.
surprise anybody? Like this dude is George Lucas's
No.
like apprentice. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
he's always to me anyway had this weight within the company from the outside looking in. Like
Yeah, for
he
sure.
was involved in even way back in 2014. Like he was consulted he was in those sequel trilogy meetings. Like he was in
Yeah,
like he's in the meetings
Yeah.
for all this stuff because he is like a direct line to the what George taught him.
Yeah, Elliot,
he's-
are you
he's-
a fan of the Clone Wars?
He's always had the, that sort
Yeah?
of power.
I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge,
Right.
I'm a huge Clone Wars. I'm in the middle of Rebels, but I'm a huge Clone Wars fan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I think if you're a huge Star Wars fan, like Clone Wars is like that's where a lot of the meat is, you know. So it's like if you're a big lore guy, it's like yeah, let's get into this. Clone Wars is awesome.
For the I mean for like the prequel, sure, but I mean
Yeah,
Yes.
like it does help
Um,
the prequels like make it better for sure. Like especially with, I mean, for me, like I don't like episode 2. Like I
fair.
sorry to cut you off, but I did this
No, you're
new
good.
thing with I did this thing called the Star Wars Renaissance, and what I did is when I did my live stream with Sawyer, we were talking about the sequel trilogy, and for preparation, what I did is I just because I would watch all the movies, I wouldn't watch it from 1 to 9. I just watched it based off of like, oh, let me watch 5 one day, and then like 3 months I'll watch like episode 2 or something. But now I would watch I watched it as a kid. I wouldn't watch it as like as a movie. I would be like, oh, I got to episode 2. All right, let me skip the romantic scenes because these are boring
Yeah.
and it's awful acting. But what I did is I went through 1 through 9 and just watch all the movies like with I'm a casual fan. I don't know any lore. I don't know any of this stuff. Let's go. It does help episode 2 a lot more because there's a lot of issues with episode 2, in my opinion.
What? No.
Yes.
What do you mean?
What are some issues? Just curious.
It's perfect.
The Kaminoans. How did the Jedi all of a sudden? Well, look, okay, I get the whole what's his name Sifo Dyas.
Life of Diaz.
I
Sifo
get
Dyas,
that,
yeah.
but my biggest problem is that why is it that all of a sudden the Jedi are I'm just watching the movie. I'm not forget like the video games or the basic stuff. Like to me, if I watch it, why is it all of a sudden the Jedi go with the clone army, and then they had no idea about it?
Right.
There was
I've
also
always, if I may, I've always like I always thought they were kind of apprehensive, but when the clones came in and saved their asses, it's like, okay, you know what we're doing? Like,
Well,
it's working out for
that
us.
part of development got cut from the movie because there's a difference between there's a scene between when Yoda's like, go investigate, I will, and then Yoda shows up with the clone army. Like Yoda is
Right, yeah.
leading the army. Like he goes and does something.
what should have been shown. It should have been a cool thing like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm Yoda. What's up? No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. It would have been kind of interesting to have Yoda talking to Kaminoans like, hey, well, our
I'm
podcast
pretty sure that got deleted. That exists. Like
It
that
should've-
was in the script.
instead of cringy, like I hate saying all like five scenes of that, we should that's an integral part because it would be nice to see like why is he apprehensive, but then like we said the Jedi are getting there and then they're getting their ass kicked. Is like, all right, I need the clones right now. I need to start
Right.
getting this going. It would have made more sense, but it was just kind of random. Like, okay, he's gonna go and that's it. Oh, bye, John.
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure
seems like he had some
I'm sure
connections.
there's a network error.
Yeah. With episode 2, I've always liked how, or not liked, I've always thought it was strange how it's like they really name drop Sifo Dyas and they're like, yeah, here's this really big important thing. And then he never really gets addressed again. It's just like,
Yeah.
Sifo Dyas. But it's also
Was
cool
cut,
in the
right?
fact where, yeah, right. But it's also cool in the fact where it's like Star Wars is so big that it's just like, that's a huge character and you don't even hear about him, you know? Like you're going to find out about him in another
Oh,
thing, but
speaking of which, correction. I need to correct myself, fact check myself. Last time I made a joke about how I was still waiting to see the border dispute on Ancion, and I totally forgot about the Alan Dean Foster novel, Cloak of Darkness, Cloak of Deception, in which that is depicted from 2002. So I apologize. Outside of Star Wars, let's say, what is your favorite film?
Oh, okay. That's a hard one. I need a minute. There's a lot.
Oh, Dylan, how are you?
Man,
Doing swell.
Pressure is on.
let's
um,
see.
there's a lot. You know what? Okay, let me
Oh.
think. Okay, the one that's speaking to me right now, it's a really underrated film. It's called Me and Orson Welles.
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard of it,
Mm.
but it's with Zac
I have, actually.
Efron. It's with Zac Efron, Claire Danes, and
Yeah,
Christian
really.
McKay.
I've
Huh.
not heard of that, but
No,
that's
I've literally never heard of this movie.
okay. Dope. I'll check it out.
It's about obviously it's about Orson Welles, but it was directed by Richard Linklater, who did School of
Mhm.
Rock. And I think he did Hairspray. I could be mistaken. I think he did Hairspray.
Hey, did
The movie. Yeah, I think he did the. Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
He's
as well.
he's an underrated director. He's really good. I
Mm.
just all the movies I like, he just so happens to direct it. So it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's a connection.
I get that. Yeah.
But one thing I like about this movie is that I'm also a theater minor. And I'm really into theater. I'm really into I like because I've done a lot of school shows and it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. There's this amazing element of because I'm also a musician for Johnny. I play bass. I'm in a band. I'm in a couple bands, and I love performing
Sweet.
YOLO.
in front of people. Like I like doing playing music and doing shows and stuff like that. But then anyway, so the whole point is that me and Orson Welles is really good because Orson Welles is he's a genius in the acting
Yeah.
world. Like
Oh yeah.
I hate saying that word a lot
That's
because
true though, man. It's so true. Like, have you seen
No, it is.
The Third Man, Elliot?
the third man,
Pioneer for it.
The Third Man, 1949, I believe.
the third man.
Yes, The Third Man, as in the third.
The fact that I couldn't pronounce it means that I haven't seen it. No.
Anyway, my point was to your point that Orson Welles can show up in like the last 20 minutes of a movie and just like steal the show
Yeah.
because he's so good.
Yes.
I heard that, and my buddy Andres that I did the Basic Nerd experience with, he said that Chimes at Midnight was pretty. He said it was pretty great too. So I got to check that out.
He's
as
a
well.
great actor. He's a great actor.
Mhm.
Johnny, have you seen The Third Man?
No, but I've heard of it. No.
The way you were agreeing with me, I was like, oh, Johnny's seen it. Well, go
No,
check out The
no,
Third
I'm
Man.
agreeing that Orson Welles is a good actor. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen
Yeah.
it.
He's
It's not his only movie, Levi.
yeah.
No,
A
but
movie called Citizen Kane.
Ever heard of it?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
I hate it.
I'm literally-
I know some people
never heard of
hate
it.
that movie.
Rosebud.
No, that's a great movie,
Yeah.
but it's not in my top favorites. But it's a great movie. But
So me and
It's-
Orson
yeah.
Wells.
It's the
I'll check
film
it out.
student go to.
It's interesting.
yeah,
Oh,
but
I like
yes and
Citizen
no.
Kane.
Yes
you
and
ever
no.
heard of it?
But with me and Orson Welles, the movie's about how it takes place in the early 30s. The Depression is just going on, but it's all about how Zac Efron's character. It's based on a book. I think it's fiction. I don't think it really happened, or I don't know. It's kind of the gray area where some elements were true, some weren't. But the whole point is the Mercury Theater is really going under. That's where he did the infamous War of the Worlds thing, where he scared the shit out of everybody. But it turned
And
out
his radio dramas and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I
He
know what
did
you're talking about.
Shadow, like exactly.
Oh,
He
Mhm.
did all that.
Can
all
you
that
imagine that being alive then? And I was like, oh my god, are the aliens invading?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a crazy point in time.
I mean,
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
imagine
there's some
watching a
there's
movie
there's
for the
some
first
myth
time.
to that tale, but
oh,
we
is
won't
there?
get into
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some like, did it really happen? Or
Well, like I know that when that was happening, the broadcast, a lot of people were scared because people like a lot of the broadcast because there's like 3 or 4 radio stations and they were like, oh,
Mhm.
because people thought people mistook it as a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, you gotta think like nobody like this has never been seen before or heard before.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, obviously you're like, oh wait, this must be real.
It sounded
So.
right. It sounded so real. And then like someone sent a telegram to Orson Welles saying, you gotta stop. People are
Yeah, you're terrifying.
and then
You're scaring
and-
people. Yeah.
And with him, he's like, no, like I like this. Let's keep this going. And there's times when a few days later, there's people interviewing him and he toyed with the interviewers. He was like, yeah, I talked to the aliens. They're here for this reason and this is why. Then later he said, no, I did it for theater. And he got
what a legend! What a
shit
legend!
for it. And
Yeah.
and later it's like in textbooks and like people are like, oh, that's pretty badass of him. But if that happened today, no, he would be canceled. Like it would be
Yeah.
a whole thing. But anyway, so the movie Me and Orson Welles takes place in the Mercury Theater. That's where the whole War of the Worlds. I think War of the Worlds definitely happened there, but
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
he's doing a production of a Caesar, Julius Caesar, the Shakespearean play.
Yes.
And the whole point is he's like early 20s, but he acts like he's been doing this for like 20, 30 years. And the movie's great. It's just there's a lot of you learn about the energy of like acting on stage, what's at stake.
And who's
he's
playing
like as a-
Orson Welles?
It's a guy named Christian McKay who kind of looks like him, and he absolutely nails it. As it's just the way the dialogue. He's an
Did
underrated.
you see there was this recent movie, I think it was the beginning of this year. It was a Netflix movie. It was
Mank.
called Mank.
I heard it was really boring, but I need
Yeah,
to
it
see it
was.
for myself.
Mank.
It was really boring.
Really?
Is that about? I was wondering. Is that the same? Have you
Is that
seen
the
it?
one
Is that the
with-
same?
is it-
Is it the
is it-
same Orson Welles actor?
Oh, wasn't
No,
Gary,
I
isn't
think-
Gary
yeah.
Oldman in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading that
met-
it's Tom Burke who played
Hmm.
Orson Welles.
Interesting.
I do want to watch it though, and I'll get back to you on that, Johnny. It's one of those movies that I've been, even though because I like Citizen Kane, so I do, and I like that
It's
40s.
very slow. It's very slow. I
uh,
did have to take breaks, so just warning you there. But
Speaking of Zac Efron, my girlfriend has an irrational hatred of Zac Efron.
why?
Does it go back to High School Musical?
No, and every time I'd sing
Is it
High School
because of the
Musical
Ted
songs,
Bundy thing?
is it-
We're
No.
soaring.
No,
Movie?
she says
he
it's
was
because
great as Ted Bundy. That
she
was
says
surprisingly-
it's
surprisingly
she says
good.
it's because when he and they
Too good.
they filmed that at my university. I'm at Ted Bundy, guys. I'm at Ted Bundy zone. University of
Hell
Washington is
yeah.
where Ted Bundy was
Watch out, Levi.
Explains a
He's
lot.
right behind you.
shopping. Yeah, he's still. I've been into the hall where he was killing.
Nice.
Really?
I live
I
right
didn't
next
know
to
that.
it.
Huh.
Yeah, as the North Campus, baby.
As he
That's
says it,
crazy.
as Levi smiles. I saw people. I'm in the same place.
Anyway, no, she
I
claims,
witnessed a murder.
she claims it was because like when his nature documentary was coming out on Netflix, it just like
Oh.
auto played his like Zac Efron like spiel over and over again, and she just got so sick of him. So now she hates Zac Efron, and I find it very funny because Zac Efron seems to be like
His Netflix show is pretty good. It is like a very like cheesy discovery thing, but I it is interesting about you should go out and travel and definitely like there are things in life that we need to do better as society. I do like it what it is. It is, but it has that Discovery Channel
Yeah.
cheesiness to it for
Yeah.
sure. But
So anyway, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
man, it's
See, I'm
a-
nervous to ask these questions because I don't know what you guys have already asked. I was
No,
going to ask
this
that.
is all totally
That's
off
fair.
the rail. This is totally just
it's a
Yeah,
tie
this has
between
been-
it's a tie between Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi.
Two solid picks.
Nice. Empire fall on your list. I'm just curious.
It's number 3.
Okay. Solid.
Yeah,
Solid.
I watched it recently and I don't know. It's a great. It's great. It's just I don't know. It hits different for me. Like
Mm.
for like Revenge of the Sith, I cried 3 times, even though I've
I
seen
just
it so
watched
many
it last
times.
night, so
So this conversation's been all over the place. But I think let's take it back to Star Wars before we do our final bit here. Transition into that.
No
So-
problem.
So yeah, Return of the Jedi over Empire. I feel that some days. I feel that it's like so it's just the vibe of it, right? Like it feels
Yeah.
more. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Empire is my number 2, and Jedi's my number 4. But some days I want to switch Empire and Jedi.
It's you know what it is. It's I know Empire's a better movie. I know it's a better
Yeah.
movie,
But it's like something
but
about
it
Jedi.
just I like it more. I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's that Luke Vader Emperor fight that gets me every time. It's just that it's just engaging. I mean, the Jabba thing. In the Basic Nerd Experience we did a review of each movie in its own rendition. When we talked about Revenge of the Jedi.
It's almost
Take
called
two.
that.
Return of the Jedi. When we did that, our buddy Jose had a huge problem with the Jabba's palace sequence. Like he thought that the plan didn't make any sense at the time. I mean, this was a year ago when we talked about it, so I don't know if his opinions have changed, but at the time he was really not into. He thought that the plan didn't make sense getting in, and he was.
I mean,
really,
it doesn't, but it's okay.
It's a wacky plan, but
Wacky plan. It's out there. It's
it
fun,
wasn't.
though.
Yeah, it's fun. It does. There's some truth.
Is-
Like C-3PO. C-3PO comes in, and then they're sold by the droids as a token of appreciation, and they don't tell C-3PO and R2-D2. Yeah, that should have been. They should have known ahead of time. There should have been. I don't know. It'd been cool to see a scene where like Luke, Leia, Chewie, and C-3PO, R2-D2 get together and talk about what's gonna happen, because it has Return of the Jedi has like the dullest opening in a Star Wars film. It's
It opens with the Emperor or Vader going to the second.
yeah, just the Imperial shuttle. We're starting our approach, and then like all this stuff, and then like they talked about it, like like this back and forth, and then C-3PO, R2-D2 going Java. Like it's just boring. Like it's my favorite movie, but it has the most boring aspect. It's just it I don't know, like it's that's my biggest problem with it. That and The Ewoks. We're
Man, it sounds like you hate Return of the Jedi, Elliot.
right.
Jeez.
No, that's
Wow.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's.
Yeah.
I just. But those are the only two problems I have with it. Oh, okay. There's another one. Lando.
So I don't like the intro, and I don't like all of Endor.
You just like the final the third
I don't-
act.
The name of the movie is really cool.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it sounds like I'm bashing it, but there's a lot I like from it. I don't. There's a problem I have with Lando and Han, where Han goes, "Look at you, a general." He's like, "Yeah, I know," but if you go back, Han was in Carbonite, and the last time Han remembered was that he betrayed him, and later was like in Carbonite, sold to Jabba. So there should have been a time when Han should have went, "You should not be talking to me. What the hell
Yeah,
happened?"
yeah. What
Yeah.
the
There
hell?
should have been some.
true.
Fair point. I didn't
I
even
think
think about
maybe
that.
Someone
explained on the
filled them in,
Falcon,
right?
Like,
Off
Yeah,
screen,
maybe.
well,
off screen.
well,
little
no.
scene.
Hold on.
Mhm.
That's not true. When the intro, man,
When intro.
Lando saves him. Like, and he saves
Yeah,
Lando. Like he gets out of the Carbonite, and like the first time he really sees Lando, they're in like the heat of the battle, and they're fighting together
He's
against
like,
Jabba's
"Lando."
goons.
But it's not.
And he saves him.
I think it's kind of like in the moment. It's like, all right, he can't see, so he's like, all right, I just gotta go with it.
And then we maybe on the Falcon or whatever they had a
I'm sure Leia gave
they
him
should've
a
Yeah,
shown
nod.
that's what I'm
though.
saying. Off screen little thing. I don't know.
They should have shown that though. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying they have to like
That's
show
fair.
like a.
That's fair.
They should have like been like, hey, we're making our approach to the rebel base, and then like Han is like sitting in the corner like, okay, what happened?
Yeah,
And
what the
Lando's
hell
like-
is going on here?
Yeah,
No, I feel
Lando's
like they've always had that kind of relationship. I may probably inadvertently, like because of the way it was written, but I feel like they've always had that.
No, I no, especially in Solo, I get that, but there should have been like a moment, like why, what happened.
Yeah,
That's
fair
a
enough.
critical moment. Like
I see what you're saying.
it should have been addressed. I'm not saying it has to be like we have to have like a fight scene or like something like that, but it should have been talked about more a little bit.
That's fair.
But besides that, I don't really
You
have.
have Solo tomorrow. Cut you off a little bit earlier. Sorry. Tomorrow is Make Solo 2 Happen Day.
Oh,
So
yes.
you are I'm plugging that for TRB, the Resistance broadcast. Hopefully we'll get them on the show one day. Gotta love. Shout out to John Hoey and Lacey and John over there. James, tomorrow, if you so desire, if you want to see Solo 2 happen, tweet out hashtag Make Solo 2 happen if you can.
I know we will.
I'm
be,
just
yeah.
and I'm just plugging that of my own accord because I love Solo and I
Right.
want to put
I
that
wanna see
message
Solo
out
too.
there.
I
when
want
this-
to see it. So
Yeah, when this
all-
episode
all
comes
nerds
out.
is in support of it. We'll just
Should
say
Oh
be-
yeah,
it should be
we are
today.
make Solo 2. Yeah. So, Elliot,
Yes.
would you like to put your Star Wars opinions to the test?
Is it time?
Yes. It's
I'm-
time. We've had
It's
a
definitely-
we've had a
it's overtime.
long, windy
Yeah.
road to
Yeah,
get
this
here.
has been.
All right,
Yeah,
Elliot.
but-
So what we do here is we have
Okay.
this tier list that originally started with a culmination of me, Levi, and Johnny's opinions. Levi more than me and Johnny agree a little more than Levi does, but we all had to make some sort of sacrifices. for
Johnny's in the
this
middle.
List. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
And
Okay.
then each guest we've had on gets to move one thing up, down, left, right, wherever. They get to move one project of their accord. So I don't know. I know Star Wars only moved the Clone Wars movie from, I think,
Clone
pretty
Wars
good or
movie.
fine down to F. We had the HoloNet Marauders. They
Yeah.
moved
We-
all the
we've-
sequels up. We've had a lot of different people on.
Yeah.
So
We
what
get a lot
would
of
you
different people.
change?
So-
on
Well,
this
hold on
list?
though, but Justin has lost move Rise of Skywalker down to C. Santa moved Star Wars. Santa moved Rogue One to fine. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? What do
There's
you
a
get
lot,
one
yeah, we
thing?
don't-
You can talk out your opinions on the movies. Give our
We'll
audience
give
something
you a
juicy to
second.
dig
I know
into,
it's a
but,
lot.
yeah, think about it. What are you gonna do? One thing.
Do I move one thing or do I
Mhm.
do my own
You
ranking?
move one
You
thing.
can
can
move
move
just
one
you
thing.
can move one thing on this list. What is it?
I would put Rogue One to Unsatisfactory.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
Wow,
Rogue One to
okay.
unsatisfactory.
Rogue
There we well, we've
Rogue's been
officially
getting a
filled
lot of
every,
a lot of hits.
we officially
like.
have a project in every section now. So
God
that's good. to see.
damn.
Yeah.
But Rogue One unsat. Okay. All right.
Can you explain? Can you explain?
Yeah. Do you want to?
It is the most boring Star Wars film
Really?
in all of it.
You don't like?
it did solve a great plot hole.
Mhm.
The writing was boring. I really didn't care about the characters except for the
Lies,
robot.
deception.
It's
Every day, more lies.
No. I shouldn't have done that. I know Lita's gonna go off.
Morgan will know the truth.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's solid. I mean,
uh,
you don't like the third act? I think the third act is pretty exciting.
no,
think
it
Darth
is.
Vader's
It's just
cool.
the first two was
First
boring.
two are rough. They're rough.
Yeah.
They're rough. That's
They're
fair.
rough.
I'm right there with Elliot.
That's fair.
I'm not
We-
unsatisfactory, but I feel Elliot's
We've kind of gone over this before, but I think I think we pretty much all agree that it's like the scenes themselves are really good and they're like what we want to see in like a Star Wars movie, but just how it's tied all together is like not so good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
one
a
of those
bit,
things.
it's a bit
I-
shaky
I-
at times.
I do want to preface that this will probably be my last thing I have to talk about because I do have to I have something to coming
Oh
up.
yeah,
but,
for sure. Well,
But I'll end it up. I mean,
Feel
would you
good.
guys mind? I actually would. I'll explain my Rogue One, but I actually wouldn't mind doing my little own. If you could put that back up, I don't mind doing my little
Yeah.
own ranking real quick.
Sure.
yeah,
okay,
got it
yeah.
on. Got it on.
Hold up, let me just save that one.
impromptu. No guest has done this before.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
the
feel free.
reason Rogue One, I'll quickly explain. Rogue One, I thought the characters were kind of forgettable. I thought that it had nice moments. Yeah. I just thought that it was really whatever. I thought that this. I thought General. What was the name of the? Not Moff Tarkin, the guy under him.
Krennic.
Orson Krennic.
Krennic.
I like the actor. I thought that he was just a whiny baby. Like he was just like, this is my plan, not yours. And it's like dude, no, it was Galen Erso who really did it. Yeah, I don't know. I was really like, that's the only Star Wars movie where I fell asleep in.
Wow.
Like,
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like I know there's change of directors. I know there's issues with it, but I mean, listen, the Vader scene at the end is amazing. The last act is amazing. Has some of the like probably the best ship fights. I absolutely agree. I wasn't satisfied with it. I don't really like it. I mean, I don't
That's fair.
hate it. It's not awful. It's not like your thing. It's not Clone Wars, the movie.
Yeah.
It's just I really am not. I get why it was made, and I'm glad it was made, but I just wasn't a fan of the execution. And I wasn't a fan of it. I really that's all I want to say. I can continue on, but so okay. So that's why I'm not a fan of Rogue One.
That's fair.
Okay. So I would keep awful. I'm gonna for anyone listening on the audio for the list for the what's it called, the rank.
Clone Wars movie.
I would keep the awful for Clone Wars. I would keep Unsatisfactory.
The movie.
Yeah, the movie. Sorry. Yeah, the movie,
Clarify.
not the show. No, the show was
'Cause
amazing.
that would you'll go an uproar in the comments.
I would put F awful. Yeah. Keep Rogue One. I've never seen Resistance yet, so I can't judge it yet. I like how you're gonna move it, like for Rise of Skywalker. I would put that under Unsatisfactory.
Before or
Under
after
Rogue One or before?
I like it more than Rogue One actually. You can put Attack of the Clones at Unsatisfactory.
At the bottom.
Before or after?
Where?
In between Rogue One and Rise of Skywalker. I would keep Phantom Menace. I would put Rebels. I would put B right now. I mean, season 2, so I think it's pretty good right now. So I would put that in B right now. I'm only on season 2, so I still haven't seen it, the rest of it yet. Solo, I would put as fine. I think it's a fine movie. It's okay. It's I think it has some good acting. I just I don't know. I just for me I didn't. It's good. It's really good. It's just I don't know. It doesn't.
It's really good. It's just fine.
Yeah,
Keep-
it's fine.
It's fine. It does its job. It's good. It's good.
New Hope.
New Hope, pretty good.
We'll
That's
put
pretty
it
good.
Phantom Menace.
better than
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Mando.
put Mandalorian. Put that for love, for S.
All right.
for sure.
What do you? All right. Well,
Just
I'm
put it at
sure
the
this will
bottom. Yeah,
move
put it at the
around,
bottom.
so I'll
This
just
is gonna
put it.
change a
Yeah.
lot.
Right. You know what? You can move Last Jedi to fine.
All right. I'll put it. Do you like it more than Solo?
No, you could put that after
All
Solo.
right. All right. All right.
Because I have
Yeah.
like Solo is good. It's just Last Jedi has so many problems. But I can talk
Right.
about that in another episode. But
Oh, I'm sure we can.
uh
Oh yes.
Empire you can put in great. Force Awakens you can put in great. And that's my list.
All right. That's it right
Okay.
there. That is
Wow,
the
that-
Elliot
love
from
it.
Basic Nerd
Yeah, there you go.
Experience
That-
list.
I don't know if you asked for
Never
it,
been done
audience,
before
but
on the
now you
show.
have it.
Never
yeah,
been done
never
before.
been done
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my I
Um,
took a picture just in case, but that's my list.
Yeah.
Sweet,
That's
all right.
That's definitely a Star Wars
With
list.
that,
there.
I think is our longest episode.
That
Should I
was
spin the wheel
yeah. Let's
The
spin
show.
it.
Spin
of
the wheel.
outroality?
Spin the wheel.
The best way,
This is such a good idea.
and
that
it's-
sounded very sarcastic.
Make sure
John.
this make sure you see the
Dylan.
confetti.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for checking out the All New Nerds podcast, or if you're return to the All New Nerds podcast. We encourage that you go check out the Basic Nerd Experience. They like he said, they just do everything nerdy. They're doing music, Star Wars, Marvel, comics, all that stuff. So go check it out. We will be collaborating with them in the future. We're going to actually be on a live stream of theirs, to be dated. So look for that, and we'll be posting that around. But thank you so much, Elliot, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end the episode. Any final thoughts from any of y'all?
The Discord. Check out the Discord.
Yep. Check out Discord, and
Check out our
we'll
Discord.
have the Basic Nerd Experience links in the description.
Thank you so much.
Siree. All right,
Have
see
a
you
pleasant
guys.
day,
Oh.
viewer.
We'll
Have a good
catch you in
day.
the next
Yeah.
one.
Bye,
Goodbye.
everybody.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Just
Smash
smash
Smash what?